Hi, I'm Ben McKenzie. I'm here with my wife, Marina Baccarin. The key to good detective work is having a keen eye for detail.
Detail? Like the time you took the wrong bag at baggage claim?
I was jet-lagged.
We didn't check a bag.
We got some really interesting stuff out of it.
What about the time you didn't wear any pants?
What? When?
Let's go find you some pants.
You know, it actually kind of feels nice, you know? For free.
Day green. I don't even know the difference between numbers and letters anymore. It's been weeks, months, years since we've had food. Nothing from Dustin. So all we're left here to do is sit around and talk about the Gotham episode, because we're the Gotham Chronicle podcast powered by, well, not even powered by them anymore, formerly powered by the BatmanUniverse.net. I'm Josh, and joining me is...
Haven't run out of bullets yet. This is Donovan.
Need more booze. This is Jan.
And we're going to talk about Penguin, our hero, and the new Broadway musical, you know, like appearing in 15 cities this fall. Penguin is shocked when he finds that his staff and his choir has gone over to Gordon's New Haven, you know, where I guess it's safer there, even though you could break your arm if you sleep at night, you know, like that little kid. Gordon's Martin kid apparently rolled over in his sleep and broke his arm. So either he's sleeping on the roof, or like Jan said,
how that even happened,
or top bunker, his bones are really brittle, or he's just the wimpiest kid ever. And Gordon responds by offering him food that he's allergic to.
I heard
he totally Tony Starked it.
Say what?
He totally Tony Starked it.
Oh, I don't understand that reference, but I agree with it, whatever it is. Because
Iron Man 1, he bought, or was it Iron Man 2? He bought Pepper some strawberries, and he tried to give it to her, and she's like, I'm allergic to strawberries. Are you trying to kill me? He's like, at least I remembered something about strawberries, and it was important to you, so...
Yeah, that was the second one,
I think. God, no, I remember the second part.
So Penguin's horrified to see that his staff is armed, which has one of my favorite lines from the maid, where I love how she's like, maybe Penguin won't notice if I just stand outside of his room and sing the song. Maybe he won't notice that the full choir's there. And he's like, what about the dog? Rumor has it, pup went willingly. So Gordon teams up with the street demons, you know, led by somebody who is not Lee, unlike what Reddit thinks, to try and get his staff back. But Sakla Blue, the street demons, you know,
Hold on. You said Gordon, not Penguin.
Oh, wow. I'm so used to Gordon being the one to do, stupid alliances and
that's the Penguin
foolhardy missions. Yeah. Penguin teams up with the street demons to try and get his staff back. Not Gordon, our hero. Take that, Ben McKenzie. Yeah, he's sad. But the street demon Sakla Blue wind up betraying. So Gordon and Penguin are forced to team up. Bullock tries to recruit Barbara, which apparently he didn't need to do that, because by the time Bullock comes back at the end, everything is A-okay. But you know, Barbara tries to shoot Penguin, and Gordon gets in the way. He's like, I'm not moving. I have new confidence now, because this haven, this represents something bigger than us. I finally have a home. The haven is my home, and it is always going to exist. For I am no longer a homeless, and then the haven blows up behind him.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. No! Yep. 5 seasons, and I finally get a permanent home, and it blows up a second later? And Bullock's like, Gordon, you know that there's kids in there dying. I don't care. My home. Oh God.
This podcast is right for parody.
Yeah, I hope that nobody who's nobody listens these people need to take Gotham more seriously. Meanwhile, Selina wants to go find Jeremiah, and Bruce reluctantly goes with her, and there's some light flirting along the way with the whole all the rich people left, you didn't. I had a reason to stay. Oh, senpai. She fights the mutant leader from The Dark Knight Returns and gets a little aggressive and goes into Jeremiah's church, led by a mysterious Ecco-shaped woman who, Sakla Blue, she takes off her mask, and she is Ecco. And she has a brutal fight with Selina, and Selina handcuffs Bruce to, like, I guess it was like a door, you know, and is like, I ain't doing things your way anymore. I'm going after Jeremiah, and I'm going to kill him. So those are the two. I'd say that's the two plot lines of the episode. Yeah.
Yes. That's it.
That's it. So, I'll start off. This is my. I feel like I say this a lot. This is my favorite one of the season. I know we're only 3 episodes, and I love this episode. This was Gotham when they lean into horror. Even though I made fun of this mercifully, like on the recap, when Gotham leans into horror, they do like really well. And that whole like Jeremiah church with like, you know, the big Russian roulette circle and like stuff like that, like that was like horrifying and gripping. And I know that's
a really good 13 reference.
I didn't even get that reference, but sure. Yeah.
I think that's what the movie's called. I'll check it.
But yeah, I like when Gotham, even though I know that like Selina's not going to die, you're still like on the edge of your seat in that moment because of the way it's shot and directed. I loved that. And I thought that the cliffhanger was really, really good. It was a really surprising note to end on, and just raises so many questions as well. And there was a lot. Robin Lord Taylor. I texted Donovan and I said, Robin Lord Taylor is at his most Robin Lord Taylor in this. Like
he's screaming a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah, he is. Pterodactyl scream. You saw the Gillette commercial too, Penguin? What? No.
It's almost as much pain as a woman giving birth.
And I was thinking about that because of the pterodactyl scream. Yeah, I'm sorry, but like I'll make fun of this episode, but this was my favorite one of the 3 that we've had so far. Don and Jam, what do you all think?
You know, I watched this twice, and the first time I remember not liking it as much, but like when I rewatched it just before we started recording, I was like, no, this is good. This was good stuff. I mean, there's some things I can definitely nitpick about it because it's the show, but like, I think overall it was sound. I think this is probably some of the best acting Cameron B. Candova has done. More on that later. I liked kind of like there was a lot more like in-your-face direct Batman references in this. Like overall canon. Like I feel that like it's never been this much more like kind of having fun with that, and then in this episode, and that was really cool. And like the person who wrote this, like I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, like
Z. Yeah, he's very, very big on Twitter, like with the Gotham fandom, because he's one of the more
prolific
interactive
writers.
People on there.
Well, what I like about this episode is that like usually the main characters of the show are kind of in their own kind of space, and they only interact once or twice. I like that this is kind of like a Penguin and Gordon team up episode, and I feel that like we kind of just like had these 2 characters kind of just like put them in a room together and have them play, and it was really fun. Like 5 minutes after he's like crowing over Gordon that he got locked up and like didn't go as well as you hoped. Like that was good stuff. So I thought that this was I thought this was a much more engaging episode than the last week. So yeah, overall, I have no complaints. I probably like this the best out of the 3 we've had so far.
Z Chun, by the way, he wrote One Bad Day last season, the Killing Joke episode.
I liked it. Okay, my other ship is like officially dead in the ground, and there's like not another season to mysteriously bring them back. So I only have 1 ship left.
Wait.
Good.
So was Mr. Penn? Was he your ship, or I don't like? What do you mean?
I only have 1 ship left, and it is
Cat Bat.
Cat Bat.
Mm-hmm. Who was? Oh yeah, your other ship was Tabitha Butch.
Really?
Not Nick Mobblepot?
God, Nick Mobblepot would have been amazing if it actually happened.
Not Ra's al Keen?
F*** you!
Why are you doing this? Why do you hate me? want to be your friend, but it's just you're just so mean to me.
Josh pushes those closest to him away.
I'm gonna like wake up tomorrow and like and my maid's gonna be singing and it's gonna be like, where did Don Jan go? They defected to like Batgirl the Oracle. What?
Where's my dog Ben?
One episode.
This is an outrage. Ben, where are you?
It was that
Where's
really
Ben?
long
Rumor has
shitty
it
episode.
child went willingly.
Okay, but I only have the one, and then it was really good how they displayed how she's different now. Although I do feel like she's closer to her darker aspect in the comics, so I don't feel like she's. Well, she's different, but I do feel like it's just like this. It's still in character, because she does lose it sometimes in the comics, and she will kill. It's not like with Bruce where she pulls it back. And I do like the push and pull between them, so was fun to watch. And then I really did like her interaction with Ecco too, because that was fun. Because everybody likes a girl fight.
There's a song called Girl Fight.
I did no, I honestly didn't. All the stuff involving Penguin was really weird to me, but it's just how I'm like wired. If you're gonna betray me, it's all like. And then of course they brought in what's her face, Barbara, and then I just didn't care. And that's my summoning up of how did this kid break his arm?
He fell off his bed.
Like,
He
how
literally
violently
did
did he fall off his bed? Did he turn into like really heavy when he fell off his bed? Did he float up to the ceiling and fall? Like, how did he land on his arm?
He was sleeping on the roof like Snoopy.
I'm really confused. He fell from the bed when he slept, and he broke his arm, and I'm just like, what?
The reason why Gordon felt so guilty about it was because, like, there was no beds for Gordon in there, so he tried to, like, sleep on the other side of the kid's mattress, and he, like, shoved him off the bed.
I mean, like, what could have happened?
I thought about that, too.
Maybe it was so malnutritious he broke his arm. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to figure this shit out. It's confusing.
Also, was it necessary that the kid broke his arm? Like, could they just have talked to him? Like, he's still haunted by the events of earlier.
Yes, they did actually need the kid to break his arm.
How so?
Isn't that where he kept the key? It was in his sling, or did he pull it out of his pocket? Because I swear to God,
I don't remember.
if he pulled it out of his sling, then I could be like, okay, this was just a plot point. But if he actually pulled it out of his pocket and put it underneath there, it's just like, why did he even break his arm?
To show how vulnerable he is. So, like, when Gordon gives him the badge and says, "Don't worry, you'll be alive forever," he actually, like, because when I watched this the second time, Gordon actually says to him at the beginning of the episode, like, "I'll make sure that nothing bad ever happens to you again. Now take your gasoline. Now take your gasoline shower."
That's right.
That's dark. It's not funny.
It's a dark episode. A child explodes.
I don't really care that the kid was blown up. That was kind of tough.
It would have been funny if, like, as a tribute to Death in the Family, when, like, the Haven explodes, it says at the bottom, like, somebody has blown up the Haven. Will Gordon save Will and the orphans, or will they die? Call 1-900 for them to live, and 1-900 something for them to die.
Oh, jeez. Sometimes I worry about you.
It's a comic reference.
Yes, I know, but I still worry about you.
But yeah, my second viewing, he like literally says to the kid, like, "I'll make sure nothing bad ever happens to you again." But in fairness to that, like, line, it's supposed to show that Gotham is a city without hope right now. So, like, this Haven, this, like, bright thing, which, like, even had, like, the whole angelic thing around it, and, like, Lucius and Gordon saying at the end of the last episode, the Haven, the most unexplodable place in all of No Man's Land, that will be all right forever. Yeah, that didn't go so well. So I dig that plot point, and I forget his name. I think it's Damian Holbrook. He works for like TV Guide magazine. He moderates a lot of the New York Gotham events because he's like a New York TV journalist. At the Pally Center premiere, he was like teasing the third episode to the people in the audience. He's like, "Oh man, the third episode, it ends in a place that's so dark that like, wow, I can't believe that they did that to the characters, and how are they going to get out of it?"
Sure.
I don't know what I was expecting. Like, because I didn't like how like randomly and spontaneously the Haven showed up in the last episode, and I guess I'm actually kind of glad that like it was blown up because it kind of takes away the safety net of like, okay, Bullock, that was a hard fight. Let's go back to the Haven and cool off. Like that would have been dumb and not No Man's Land. So like,
I don't know. They could have also worked it so that it was kind of like it's Haven, but it's constantly under fire because it is called Haven and people are flocking there.
Well, and things weren't even so good.
The whole place went up. I was just like, whoa.
And even though like it's this idyllic place, things were not going well there. Like there was that fight that homeless cop had to break up at the beginning over the rations. Like he's like, hey, you'll get your turn. You'll get your turn.
We saw that in DCPD headquarters.
And like,
but it's still ongoing, which is nice.
And when Gordon goes outside to like talk to Penguin and like, you know, and let him go, like the people in there are like arguing with each other, like Penguin's the hero. No, Gordon's the hero. And Lucius is like, I did build this Haven, you know, and I modified the batteries from Jeremiah to give us power. Aren't I somebody's hero? Penguin!
Didn't he also make the water filter?
That was Bruce, wasn't it?
Oh, Bruce made the water filter?
Well, Bruce said that it was from Wayne Enterprises, so...
I mean, we saw at the beginning Bruce like showing Gordon how it worked, and like... I mean, Bruce probably didn't do it by scratch, but like I didn't see Lucius around that mission.
I just assume everything that comes from R&D comes from Lucius at this point.
Yeah. He's cute. Now,
which is not how his character works.
Yeah, I know, but basically what they did is they put him at the police department so that they could keep him in the show without having to continuously go over to Wayne Enterprises. You know that, right?
Yeah, but it's still bad. Right?
Yeah, I don't even think we've seen him at Wayne Enterprises since like season 1, where he like said to Bruce, like, "Your dad was a stoic."
Yeah, that was like the only time we've seen him there.
You might even say that there's a book in your bookshelf that you should pull out.
God. That was such like the worst.
Yeah, I have fond memories of season 1, but I also have some crazy memories of season 1.
But yeah, so it was like, what was it? God, I can't remember. After Lee left, he became the... Remember, I was just like, I don't understand how did he become the medical examiner? That's not even...
Was he not the medical examiner? No, he was like something. He was like something
the medical
else.
examiner first, because he replaced Lee. And then he became the tech guy. And then he was like everything. He was the GCPD.
That's why I don't like the whole like, you know, scientist element of Lucius Fox. Like that's nowhere near what he can do.
I'm trying to think because Lee was the medical examiner through like she left. She
replaced Riddler, didn't she?
But no, Riddler got the other Riddler was a CSI guy, and the medical examiner did not get along with Nigma because he like was always messing with his stuff. So like,
if Riddler was CSI, why was he doing autopsies on people?
He wasn't doing autopsies on people. Well, he was, but it was because he was not supposed to be doing it.
He was not supposed
to figure stuff out.
Okay.
He wasn't. Yeah. He wasn't patient enough to wait for the medical examiner to do their job.
Yeah.
So he was overstepping his bounds, which is why the former medical examiner kept asking him to leave.
Yeah, Lee leaves for good, like, because she was gone for like a chunk of season 2. And comes back in season 3, but she like leaves for good at the end of season 3. So
she's like halfway gone in every season, I think.
I know, like I'm leaving Gotham for good this time. Okay,
like Marina McCarran's schedule is like literally like half the episodes of the season, each season. Half of season 1, half of season 2.
Half of season ever 4, done a full season?
I'm trying to think because like
season 3 would be the only full season I think she's done.
She
like even if she wasn't in every episode, she was in like the beginning, the middle, and the end.
And we've not seen her yet so far in this season.
No, we're not going to see her for another few weeks. Like the actress said in an interview that she doesn't come back until the middle half of the season.
Oh. Well,
So, despite everyone saying on Reddit, that one's Lee, she blew up the Haven as revenge on Gordon.
Who were people saying that she was?
They were saying that she was the skull lady, the sugar skull lady from the last episode. Oh my gosh, it's a Hispanic woman. It must be her.
Check her gas levels again, Reddit. Who's right next?
Lee, is that you? No, Gordon, that's Edward. Are you sure?
I didn't recognize that tongue anywhere.
Wait, the dog?
Yeah.
Why that like Leslie Tongues looks like a bulldog?
Oh, that doggy was so cute.
He is cute.
At least he survived.
I know. I was really happy about that.
He blew up the Haven. Turns to look at the camera. And in fact, like
the meme.
So, when you first saw this episode, what were your theories about who blew up the Haven?
I have no idea. I have no theories.
My initial thought was Penguin, but then it was one of those things where the more I thought about it, the more it didn't make sense. Because I thought that he was doing it to be vindictive. Even though he went to get his staff back, it's still screw you guys. You all abandoned me, and I'm going to show you. Yeah. But I realized later on, I was no, that doesn't make sense. So I'm really not sure.
Well, we know that that
the only person that makes sense in my head is Jeremiah.
We know that Bane's going to be in the show soon, so
true.
Would this be something he wanted to do?
But this is there's no build up to that. There's no, well, not that they haven't done that before. I mean, that'd be one hell of an intro if he just suddenly walks out of the flames in the next episode. But then we have to figure out his motivation. And then he's Rachel Gold's son or something.
Hello, mother. He says to Barbara. Barbara, when did this happen?
Barbara, I don't know. Barbara doesn't know.
She's I don't know how magic glowing hand bursts work.
Shade all day.
I do love Harvey all panicked right before it explodes Jim I tried to keep Barbara back even though he's the one that summoned her in the first place. Hi Pangy, bye Pangy.
That was funny.
And Oswald just poops his pants
Looks like
he's no, Barbara, and I'm just all really? I'm just
That's one of my favorite running gags of the season is Barbara showing up and Penguin losing his shit and getting scared.
I don't even know. I'm just kind of every time I see her, I'm just tired.
Well, yeah, they're committing to this storyline of Barbara. She must get her revenge because Tabitha was valuable to her and not the viewers.
Yeah.
Selina has not reacted to Tabitha dying yet.
She doesn't even know Tabitha's dead.
All she cares about
no
is
one has told her anything.
Joker.
Jeremiah.
Does Bruce even know?
No.
Well, and she and Barbara have not interacted
she does know.
Since the end of last season. Not the very end, but it was
You remember she had to choose between them, or she had to try to, and she was the voice of reason and all of that.
Yeah, Barbara has not seen Selina since before she was shot, and I remember that really bothering me because the three of them were supposed to be BFFs.
Yep. Yep, they were the sirens.
But
fun.
but last episode, you'll like it. It's nice. One of the best moments of the show.
The first commercial ever.
I love our parody.
Men pay whatever, women don't. Or women drink free.
Women get in free, men don't.
You'll like it. It's nice.
But last episode, it was like Selina saying, remember, when I think of Ivy, I just remember season 1 with Claire Foley. And this episode, it's like Bullock and Barbara saying, remember season 1. So, like, that seems to be, like, a continued theme this year of, like, people calling back to, like, the first season. It's like, remember when, remember when Jim was a rookie and you were a corrupt cop? And I like Harvey's response where it was like, you ever wonder what it would be like if Jim was around? He's like, yeah, I'd be dead, or I'd be wishing I was. And I was like, oh, he right. Like,
I remember when you were sane.
Yeah, she was a horrible character then, too.
She was always a horrible character.
Yeah.
I mean, at least at that point, it was very, very obvious what she was supposed to be. She was supposed to be the grounding. To me, she was that archetype where she was supposed to be that grounding character that kept him on the straight. She's supposed to be the one that he's protecting and the kind of normal life he was, like, protecting. And then she went crazy, and I was like, he literally has no reason to do his job right now. There's no like normalcy in that show. She was
the girl at home.
Everyone is off the rails in that show. There's not a single normal person. Like, everyone is like some crazy exception.
Yeah, if that kid had them blown up, he would have been committed genocide by the end of the season, I'm sure. Say what?
What kid blown up?
Gordon's version of Martine, the kid with the broken arm. His name was Will, I think.
He blew up? Or he was in the explosion in the building?
Yeah.
Okay, because when you said the child blew up, I thought you meant I was like, no, that was an old man running down the street that blew up. Because you have to remember, literally blew up.
That was him do the time travel.
You have to say he was in the explosion. There's like a completely different. Its semantics do count in this case. My brain.
You and Stella would get along very well.
I'm just saying. If you're going to say the kid blew up, I was like, man, did I miss a child blowing up?
Yeah, it was great.
Like, my brain was like, look, I thought that was an old man. I was super confused.
Well, I want to say that I thought that and watching it the second time, considering that the guy was all cut up in the Haven, and then the guy kind of tied to a bomb and all kind of stuff, that was pretty Mutants-esque. I thought the mutants were done decently in this episode for a live action adaptation.
Yeah,
I don't buy for an instant that you're not Red Dark Knight Returns, right? Like the gang with the visors that Bruce and Selina fought. Those are the mutants from Dark Knight Returns.
Okay, thank you for.
And that was one of the first leaked set photos when they were filming that, and Cameron B. Condova was doing high kicks in the photos, and people were like, Selina learns to walk again.
Learns
to walk.
No, she eats a tree.
She eats a human blood seed, and then becomes Cirque du Soleil one-man show.
I was wondering if her eyes were going to bug out again this episode.
We want to talk about Selina's plot in this episode. There's a lot to talk about, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we can go character by character since there was only 2 plot lines, so.
Yeah, that would be better because it would give us more focal points to talk on than just the 2 general ones.
Yeah, Selina. Somebody pointed out on Twitter that the scene of her on the roof before she jumps off is a shot-for-shot remake of her doing the same thing in the pilot, which is another reference to season 1.
Which is good because the show is coming full circle, basically, is what it's saying.
Yeah. And she has the claws.
Yeah.
So, her whole thing about I'm back, Bruce, as though I never left, and she has evil cat eyes. Yeah, that never comes up again, is it? In this episode, at least.
It didn't come up in this episode, no.
No, I mean, she's more aggressive, and Bruce has to fire a grappling thing.
I don't know if she's all that different. She's going too far, and she's violent. She's never been a great person.
But would she be able to take the giant mutant leader without Ivy's plant thing?
Well, I mean, she stabbed his leg which was a vital artery, and started cutting him up. So because I'm not considering that guy to be the mutant leader. He's just kind of supposed to fill that image, but he's not. He's a mutant leader and nearly killed Batman, so I'm not imagining that that exact same.
It's a prequel to the mutant leader. These people will be the inspiration for him when Davi Mazouz is 50.
Yeah, far into the future.
The way I see it is, so when she killed Reggie in the first episode,
that we're never mentioned again, apparently.
Yeah, she was doing that to protect herself and Bruce, wasn't she?
He was like, "I'm going to tell on you," and then she pushes him out the window because it was convenient.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. He was right there with a target
later
on his butt.
too. She killed 2 people, right? I forget. Or did she just kill Reggie?
I don't remember her killing anybody else.
Okay, but seriously, when she did that, it was she was sitting there oh yeah, I did this to protect myself and to protect us, you and me, and blah blah blah. And then this case, it was completely different in the way that she was doing it, because she wasn't doing it to she said, yeah, he was trying to kill me or whatever, but the way she was doing it was a lot more malicious, I feel, than when she did it in the first episode. The first episode felt more like, I have to do it because he said he's gonna do stuff to us, versus this one where she just kept going even when he said to stop, because she didn't have to. The guy stopped moving.
So when you were watching it, you could see that this is not Selina, this is not right.
I felt like it was Selina, just a different side of Selina, because she's angry and she's suffering from PTSD, all sorts of stuff. And she wants control of her life again, and this is how she feels she can get control of her life again.
It's also her first time back in action. I didn't feel it was out of character for her.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's out of character, that she shouldn't be doing it or whatever. I'm saying that because I didn't blink at all when she was going on her rampage. What I'm saying is that if this is, I don't know if the show wants us to believe that this is wrong for her. Obviously Bruce does, because Bruce tries to see the best in her. But if this is a result of the poison ivy, healing her thing, it doesn't seem like that was necessary at all. Because I feel that she'd be doing the exact same thing, because she's haunted by PTSD and what the Joker did to her, so she's mad and angry. It didn't seem like, this was a result of some sort of plant steroid or anything like that.
Well, I guess I assume that Poison Ivy's little thing gave her enhanced strength to really kind of brutalize. I don't know. It's almost like an Alice Tetch virus.
Am I gonna have to just guess that happened again? Because Bruce doesn't say you're stronger than you usually are. At some point they have to actually talk this stuff out.
I didn't see that she was stronger. I just saw that she got in some good hits because she was trained by Tabitha.
And she also has claws. Yeah.
I forgot that she had Tabitha's whip, and I was like, oh yeah, she has that whip. Tabby gave it to her, and now Tabby's gonna. After this, Bruce, we're gonna go see Tabitha, and Bruce yanks his 30-foot high
his turtleneck.
Yeah,
he yanks his sleeve up his
neck. His giant turtleneck. Maybe we'll go see Tabby tomorrow. Okay, well,
but
I just know that.
See that they did want her to come off as more aggressive than she usually would be, because usually she just want to slink around it and kind of not deal with it, versus pick the fight with the biggest person. But like I said, she's trying to regain control, and then I feel like she would have been more, what is it called?
Determined?
No. More less confrontational, physically confrontational, and more sneaky about getting to Jeremiah. She's we're going to sneak in and I'm going to slip, sort of thing, versus I'm just going to beat up everybody until I find him.
Let me put it this way. That thing at the end of the last episode with her, her smiling and the music's "Dah!" and her eyes are all cat-like. That was all for trailer/cliffhanger, because that has dick to do with anything. She could just get the ability to walk again and then feel upset about. I'm not saying she shouldn't be doing this or this is out of character. I'm saying because of that they did that. I'm thinking, should I be should I be thinking about the IV pill thing or not?
Yeah, you should. Okay, it's like really, we know how the show works. They're not really good at what they do.
Right, so
they're not good at what they're trying to do. But this is clearly them trying to show her the seed, how it's affecting her. I mean, for you and me who have read the comics, we already know that this is just another side of her depending on how she feels that week.
Like shot Black Mask in the head. Like, did she not? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Catwoman's always been willing to kill, so I don't.
Well,
yeah,
her body count is like maybe less than like 6 people in all of like history, but
Yeah, she's not a maniac, but at the same time,
but she's not like never killed the way that like Batman is. Like she's not like the Joker. She's not going to go around killing people. But if she's in a situation where like killing somebody will save her life, she's not going to feel bad about it.
I just feel strange watching this because it's like I understand that Bruce wants to believe in her, but like it feels as though the show wants us to side with Bruce. But from what we've seen, this is Selina by numbers. And
well, you've just summed up their relationship and why it's ultimately doomed to fail. Is that like Bruce sees the best in Selina, but he will never. He idealizes her, and he never is going to accept who she really is, and he's in denial about who she really is, and that's their fundamental difference.
That's fine, cool. That's all well and good. Then why the cat eyes from the last episode? She doesn't have powers.
Because
yeah, that's exactly right.
You should have seen, the Bryan Singer cut where like she had like Cyclops eyes, like Scott's on her shoe.
I'm too blessed. I will say though before we get away from it, that
Master
like
Bruce, what has Ivy done to Miss Kyle? I don't know, Alfred, but her eyes are going crazy.
I do want to say though that before we get off of though that like Davi Mazel's popping out that grappling gun was pretty awesome. I don't know, and I know that like the trailer kind of spoiled that, but like he just like we didn't even see him get it. He just like has it ready to go, and I love Karen Bicado's like, what the is on my wrist right now? that was pretty cool.
Well, he had something like this in season 3, like during the treasure hunt arc, because I remember like you made fun of like the internet because like there was a lot of like clickbait articles like Bruce is finally one step closer to becoming Batman, and you like pithily said yeah because he fires a grappling gun. Big whoop.
But he used that for
dude. I loved that grappling hook. It was the best thing ever. It popped out, and I was like, yes. Like episode? My inner Bat fan like exploded in happiness. I was like, why does this show do this to me? I was so mad like 2 seconds ago.
It was
during the treasure hunt arc or this episode.
I get like a bunch of like this episode. I get like so much like it's 1 second I'm like God, the show. The next second I'm like yes.
Very expressive.
It's like emotional whiplash. It's intense. The show gives me just enough to keep me coming back.
I'm far too hurt to gin up love over that, but it was cool. No, it was literally cool, and I like just how like handily he was. He didn't fumble with it, and like I mean, you can tell that Davi was practiced doing that a lot because it looked between that and the mutant leader. Going like slice and dice, cheeky. Like I was like, this is more stuff we should be having in season 5. The final season where we really you can lead into more references because you're welcome to without him putting on like a scalloped cape. Like that's good. That's good.
Yeah, just go ham.
Yeah,
the baby Batman costume from last year.
Oh, that was
with the
so
mask.
cute.
But it's like they had
rid of it.
It's like they had a list of like stuff that they can use, and like or basically their bucket list. Like, okay, we want to do the mutant leader, we want to do, and then like they found out they were getting canceled, and the stuff like that was on this like map for like season 6, 7, and 8. Like they like just immediately put everything like, okay, we're gonna do it all in season 5. Mutant leader, something, and other stuff that like I've heard is coming that we're not going to say out loud. Superman, of course.
So what?
No,
so
not
so
really.
like
How dare you!
That's how the show ends. Like Superman, like just like comes and fixes No Man's Land, and then like he goes flying with Ben McKenzie, and Ben McKenzie goes, "Can you read my mind? Do you know what it is that you do to me?"
The end shot is just going to be the last shot of Tom Welling from Smallville with like the blurred like uniform or whatever. That's gonna be it.
Bruce, it's the red blue blur. Are you having a stroke, Gordon?
He's dreamy.
I'm done. Goodbye. World.
What about Ecco?
Yeah, I was about to ask about Ecco Quinn.
Yeah, totally.
I guess the show decided that they were going to do Harley Quinn. Like they after like years of resistance, because like the producers would always adamantly say, "No, we're never doing Harley Quinn." Then like, all right, fine, Echo's Harley Quinn. Well, they don't call her Harley Quinn, but she's freaking Harley Quinn this episode, and she doesn't even act like Ecco did last year. Because if you remember last year, Ecco was very like stoic. She was like Jeremiah's like. For God's sake. Yeah, she was like Jeremiah's like silent enforcer.
And then he boned her, apparently, and then she saw Jesus.
Or she like did the Russian roulette thing, and that made her insane. Because like the bullet
in her brain.
Yeah. Whatever. It's
this
like
is another one of those Joker church cults things that just just has me rolling my eyes. Where where everyone kind of has their like I had gal face. Oh, Jeremiah's the bestest. And even though he had 2 appearances last season, we all love it and everything. And I guess that he was on TV, so there was something for them to go off of. But
since season 2, like the beginning of season 2, so they've had years for that to build up.
No. That was Jerome.
No, but you know what I mean. Wait, hold on. So here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
You had Jerome since season 2.
Yeah.
And then people started doing the cult of Jerome. Then the Jerome died, and then he's got this twin brother. And his twin brother appears to kind of give them, pick up the slack. So they clearly just needed someone to follow because their whatever was dead. And then Jerome Jeremiah picked up everything. And then, of course,
it's implied that this is the same clientele of followers. This is like a whole. It's like a whole different set of people.
It is now because he's smart about it. Remember, he's like, yeah, typical. You guys would betray me, so he gassed all of them. Remember, and then he found other people. And in times of dire whatever, people will flock to anything.
Yeah, this is No Man's Land. Although, Don did kind of ruin the wardrobe for me because now, ever since he brought it up, I'm paying attention to people's words. I'm like, oh yeah, in No Man's Land, how did all these people get matching Catholic
leather
school outfits? Yeah,
oh.
yeah,
the short sleeve shirt and the ties. That's I guess
that should be easy. You just raid a what is it called? A school uniform store, and you're good to go.
I guess, but we're months into No Man's Land, so you
a lot of stores will have school just ready to go for anyone. So
even during No Man's Land.
Yeah, even during No Man's Land, unless
okay.
they made it specifically for school uniforms.
Alternate theory. Ecco and Jeremiah raided the school uniform thing, and when Ecco was out kind of recruiting people, saying, hey, if you want to join this awesome thing, show up here at 7 p.m. Tomorrow night. She gave them the uniforms to show up in because those people kind of all showed up around the same time as if this was there was flyers or an appointment or something. So
yeah, they were all dressed the same.
Yeah, so I feel this was pre-planned somewhat. I don't know. It's
I don't know. It made more sense to me than everybody in Gotham wearing bondage gear. How many? I just feel like every store has a bondage section with leather straps and fishnet. Just
have you never been to Target?
Just go to Walmart. They have that at Target.
Hey, Bullock, what do you think of the new police uniforms?
Gordon.
I'm sorry, I missed everything that happened.
I had Gordon say, like, hey, Bullock, what do you think of the new GCPD uniforms? And Bullock, like, Jesus Christ, Gordon, I know that the government's not watching us anymore, but we are not wearing those. And Lucius comes out, I don't know. I think it's rather comfy.
Put it on or you're fired.
Basically. My circulation.
Go ahead.
It's
welcome.
fascinating.
This is like such a
Jinkies.
Now I ship him with
Velma?
Velma. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Speaking, I got to talk to you about shipping later, because there is like a section of fandom that ships two characters from this episode that I'll get to after we talk about Ecco.
Jesus.
You've taken shipping to its logical extent with Jan.
I know, like, Jan is like, I'm the most shippiest fangirl ever, and Reddit and Twitter are like, hold our beers.
I am not the shippiest person ever. The only people I shipped on the show were Lee and Gordon. Lee and dude, that was back when they started, because she was fixing that character. Okay.
She actually, we were all like, high.
She
on that
was
relationship
making
on the
Gordon
podcast.
like worth watching, because you got to watch her. Okay. And then there was Tabitha and Butch, obviously my ride or die. Cat Bat, which I warmed up to, and
Nigma Lee, I think you liked.
I did like them.
Yeah.
I have a problem with problematic relationships, and that one was really problematic, and I was like, yes. The one that I knew that would never happen, but I would have liked to see the dynamic for due to comic book history, would have been Lee and Alfred.
Yeah, and they flirted in that one episode.
Yeah, they did. And was there anything else that I liked? No, I hated that relationship.
I remember, like, season 1, like, Stella, Dawn, and I all loving Lee and Gordon, because, like, she was, like, being written, like, she was, like, the anti-TV
She was the best
girlfriend.
female written character in that show.
Like, 'cause-
And then they ruined her.
Even through, like, the beginning of season 2, where, like, she's like, no, I'm not jealous of you and Barbara. I just know that she's dangerous, and, like, I don't want you to fall for her trap. Like, she was not, like, getting mad, or she wasn't like, you're keeping a secret from me, Jim. Secrets are, like, she was, I remember loving that. And then season 3 happened.
Yup. Yup. Every single.
Well, actually, do we have anything?
Except for Valerie Vale.
We were talking about Harley Quinn, I think.
Ecco.
Oh, we know the cult people. I don't like them, but like with her, yeah. I mean, like I agree that, like, you know, Harley Quinn felt like just a straight up mandate, like, you will do it or your ass is canceled. And like I know that Jan was high on her design. I thought it was neat.
I love it so much.
Yeah, I thought it was neat.
Because it reminded me of a playing card.
How so?
If you look at her eyes, the way it's done, it's like if you ever look at a playing card, the other side is upside down.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you look at it, her eyelashes on one side are the regular way, and then on the other side, they have the fake eyelashes on the bottom, and then they drew the eyebrow underneath her eye, and then she has the top eyebrow whited out. And then if you look at her lips, on one side, the red is on the top, and then it's white on the bottom. The other is white on the top and red. So they literally flipped the other side of her face, like, not completely upside down because, you know, features, but upside down.
No, it was nice. Yeah.
And I also did like the way that they colored her clothes.
I love the moment where she takes off her little ceramic mask and the camera does, like, a dramatic close-up on her, like, oh, it's her.
I know.
Like,
was I supposed to not know it was her?
Well, not only, like, was you not supposed to know, but it's like as if, like, Ecco was so recognizable after, like, the 3 episodes she's been in.
Well, she was only showed her face in one of them.
Well, I mean, also like I mean, like
I remember when Gordon unmasks her, he's like Ecco. Last season.
Well, she was like much more vampy in this episode. I think she didn't say anything last season. Where here she's doing she's doing kind of like a halfway between Jerome and Jeremiah.
It's nice.
It's a different character, but it's like we need to make one Harley Quinn, and like Echo's like the closest person. And people were already saying last season, Echo's obviously Harley Quinn, so they were like, okay, fine.
Well, she was wearing the mask and everything. She
Right.
was halfway there.
The cowl, yeah.
I mean, I figured that too. I was like, okay, I mean, we've already got the Joker. Might as well bring this girl in as Harley. I mean, she's clearly super dedicated to Jeremiah, considering she was willing to put his brother in a cage.
I remember thinking that cage was like hilariously ridiculous. She's like putting him in a kennel like he's a dog.
Yeah, I mean, that's not normal, and she was willing to do that for Jeremiah. I was all like, well, we're halfway there.
I didn't think she, aside from her. Oh, hello.
I'm here.
Hello?
I'm here.
Oh, it was the picture. I heard like a Skype noise, so I thought that we disconnected.
I'm Tony Stark. Well, for
when she
those
said
who are
put in, I've
listening who have no idea what I'm talking about, the picture is Captain America saying Jerome is the best, and Tony saying Jeremiah is the best, and then the bottom says Civil War.
Whose side are you
I'm
on?
Tony Stark. I'm usually team Cap, but this time I'm team Iron Man.
I think I was Team Cap in the movie. Although, hold on. I might have switched to Iron Man in the movie just because he had Spider-Man on his side, and I love Spider-Man.
Hawkeye for life. Not that great in the movies, but amazing in the comic books, so.
Have we said all we have to say about Harley Quinn?
I think the actress did a really good job. I will say that. I mean, yeah, she's not Harley Quinn, and I'm not looking for her to be Harley Quinn because Harley Quinn is like unbelievably, kind of like putting people's faces up these days. I thought she was interesting and different, and that performance played along well, while still being kind of like cliched Hollywood crazy, which I guess is called upon, like everyone is in the show.
Yeah, but it makes sense for this type of character in this case.
I mean, it's Gotham, so it's not,
versus
not
like Barbara Keene or Lee on the Virus. But this character makes sense considering who she's supposed to be.
If somebody has to be Harley Quinn, I'm glad that it's her and not, I remember someone last season had the theory, wait, what if, her name is Lee? What if it's Harley? And we find out her middle name is Quinn.
Fandom was a mistake.
Well, there was like a few months where like Fandom thought that everyone was Harley Quinn.
It's true.
On Reddit, because like John Stevens said somebody like Davi Mazow, like somebody said something like, oh, you're gonna have Harley Quinn in the season 3 finale, so people are like, is it Tabitha, is it Barbara? And like
No,
Bruce saves that little,
he was trolling everybody.
Bruce saves that little girl at the end, and people are like, what if she's Harley Quinn, like the little girl who had like 5 seconds of screen time?
Oh yeah, that was weird.
And then like it continued into season 4 where like our joke about Gotham Reddit was like, the Harley Quinn board, because like, so I had to ask John Stevens at Comic-Con, I'm like, all right, what's the deal with the Harley Quinn thing? He's like, I'm sorry, it's all my fault.
And then you guys try to ask me why I like her, and I'm like, I really don't care about her that much.
Well, I asked you, why do you think she's so popular? And you said, I don't know. So that was essentially
No, you
the same
said,
question.
why do you like her?
I didn't ask that. I did not ask that.
Yeah, you did, because that's what I answered.
You still said, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's still one of those things where it's like, they don't, I mean, if you watch this show without being a Batman fan, you don't have to know that she's supposed to be Harley Quinn or affect that kind of idea.
You probably would know, though, because Harley's all up in everyone's face everywhere.
Well, if let's say if you're not a comic fan and you know Batman by name, but you're not really into like the lore of Batman, but you watch this show, because there are some people who do that. Like, I don't think that like her connection with Harley Quinn is like something that requires your knowledge of in this episode, which is fine enough. Like, they don't stop and tell you it's Harley Quinn. I knew it all along. Like, they don't say those words, and that's a little easier to swallow. Of course, they don't say Joker in the show, so.
Yeah, they can't say Joker though, but we all know it's a Joker. God, do we all know?
Yeah, it's weird because, like, yeah, they can't say Joe and they can't say Harley Quinn, but like they're really leaning into making her Harley Quinn. And like John Stevens, he had that. I was gonna try and find the soundbite put into like the episode where I talked about this, but like I couldn't find the full thing, and I only looked for 10 minutes. I'm like, all right, I gotta edit this thing. I don't have time to search the internet for this. But John Stevens, like, if anyone has the audio from New York Comic Con 2018, he was like really like going overboard with like winking at us. He's like, let's just say that you know, a certain girlfriend of Jeremiah's who likes to use rollerblades and mallets.
Is that a thing that like Harley Quinn's known to do?
He had roller skates and mallets in the animated series, at least.
Well, didn't she?
All of one episode.
Am I confusing this with like? I know in the Amanda Connor Jimmy Palmiotti comic, she joins like a roller derby team. Like that was like her like not job.
I have no idea. I've not.
But it was like part of her character, like kind of like the way that like Dick Grayson was a bartender in the Scott McDaniel run. Like Harley Quinn was like a roller derby, like team member competitively.
I have no idea.
Well, Harley Quinn now is also, you know, the Margot Robbie version, who's much more she kind of affects that sort of like roller derby clown, I think. I don't know if she wore skates, but she's kind of like that kind of almost athletic look, as opposed to like, you know, kind of a costume.
Oh, was that athletic? I'm sorry, I just saw like some booty shorts. I just thought that was cheesecake.
It was.
I saw no athleticism in that costume. I just saw like, here's some booty, guys. This is what you want, right? This is what men want. Who cares what women want? But this is what women want. They want this booty.
You had shirtless Joker for you or gay people to enjoy.
He was so gross. Give me something worth looking at. Give me Heath Ledger shirtless.
There's a little girl.
Not right now, but like back in the day.
I want to know how I got these scars on my chest.
There's a little girl who's like obsessed with Harley Quinn because of DC Superhero Girls version. And I was like shopping with her brother, and we were like, oh, these little like this. It was like a little Harley Quinn plushie, and it was like the Paul Dini, Arlene Sorkin like version, you know, with like the full outfit. So I got it for her, and like I took and she took one look at it, and she's like, I don't like that costume. And that was like, I never felt so old in my life. Like, that's not Harley's costume. I don't like that costume.
Here's what John Stevens had to say about using Ecco as Harley Quinn on cinemablend.com. He says, quote, a lot of it was like, I'd seen that actress for the first time last year, just seeing the range she has and how good she was working as sort of as Jeremiah's henchman. Because we could never do the Joker, we could also never do Harley Quinn. Well, I thought, if we can do a proto-Joker who's not quite the Joker, but who we could draw antecedents from, too, why couldn't we do the same thing with Harley? And so we started taking a lot of the same elements of madness and anarchy and the sort of mad love that Harley has and placing it into the Ecco character. She plays through the entire season, you know, with Jeremiah, and it's just a really fun, twisted, energizing relationship with a series ending. So now we know.
Yay! I can't wait to see how they play off each other. Which is probably freaking terrible. But, well, actually, if it's terrible, it's only because of how writing is directed, because that Cameron Monaghan will kill every second of it.
You know how like they can't like say Joker or Harley? Like that would be funny if like Warner Brothers said, oh, and you can't have her say puddin', so like they have her say like Jello or like something, like they like
too bad she's already said puddin'.
I know, but that would have been fun. I'm saying if it would have been funny, like if they're like, isn't that right? Pudding? What? Say it the right way. You mean Jello? Like all like threatening, and like Tommy Wiseau and Cameron are just giving each other looks.
And as soon as Harley says, "Don't call me puddin'," as though that's a thing that she doesn't like. I was a little confused by that.
Somebody like,
I think it's because it was like a, what is it called?
Pet name.
When you call someone a pet name, and she didn't like. I didn't make out with you. I made out with Bruce.
I just realized Alfred wasn't in this episode. But that's okay. He was probably, getting a much needed rest from not being in the hospital this season yet so far.
Oh, God. That's right. He gets, shot or something every season.
It's already been spoiled by, one of the producers that he's going to be back in the hospital again this season.
Of course.
John Stevens
it's the
said.
Sean Bean, the hospital.
Yeah. Sean Pertwee gives Dobby his outside, I'm okay, master me. And it's a close up on his eyes. And they go all cat.
No. He hugs Selina because they understand each other now. And then it zooms in on Selina's eyes and they go cat. And then it zooms in on his eyes and they go cat. And it zooms in on Selina's eyes and it just keeps going.
You zoom in on Gordon's eyes and they go cat.
And it turns out that it's just Jebediah using the cat eye filter on them with his Snapchat.
Jebediah! God damn it!
Cat eye filter.
Jebediah Valeska. Him and Ivy would be worst enemies because he's vegan. He's raw vegan. So he keeps trying to get plants out of Robinson Park because they're the most nutritious.
So we haven't even mentioned that they killed off an established character this season, Mr. Penn, who's I first remember him in season 4. Somebody told me that he's been around earlier, but I only remember him from season 4 because
Penguin wasn't always the big boss that he is now,
right? But I definitely remember him from season 4. He was at that baby nightclub that Gordon and Bullock, the one that Sophia got shot at. So, and he's that actor, Andrew Sellon. I interviewed him for an article over the summer, just it was a hype article that I did for another website about Gotham season 5 is coming. And he says, no character is safe. And wink, wink, even me, apparently. But Twitter, loves him because the actor, Andrew Sellon, he's very, very, active in the Gotham fan community on Twitter. And there is a lot of people that, this is going to be one of those things that you can't unlearn once you hear it. There's a lot of people who ship him with Penguin. And I'm
not even sort of surprised.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think that was going to That's obvious. That's an obvious
Penguin
shipping.
shipped with a man? I've never heard of such blasphemy.
Penguin shipped with his right hand man?
Fair enough.
That's that's a classic.
Until you finish, I was Penguin shipped with his right hand. It's that's a little specific.
Right hand?
Jim,
Man?
you give us a minute here. No. You shot my right hand. There's plenty more.
It was being assaulted.
His name is Mario.
Mario wasn't ready when he killed him.
Mario Brothers. I couldn't take the chance that you would use it to control Mario and kill Lee. Anyway, yeah, there's been lots of fan art and stuff this week, and people who are
I shouldn't laugh at that, but it makes me laugh.
People who are in denial about Penn hating Penguin because his dying words everyone hated you. People have said on Twitter, they didn't let him finish. He was going to say everyone hated you, but I didn't. But he died before he could finish the sentence.
He said everyone hated you. He said the word you.
Yeah, but he was going to finish it saying everyone hated you, but I didn't.
Sure, buddy.
Betty.
Buddy.
Oh, okay.
These are the same people that Batman didn't kill anybody in BVS. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's an expendable character. So I like the actor, and he was a nice guy when I interviewed him. So R.I.P. Mr. Penn.
Yeah, I guess.
I was very surprised he lasted the entire last season. I thought that by the third appearance, Penguin would just shoot him out of frustration. Even when Penguin was surprised and sad that he died, that honestly surprised because he never treated him well. It wasn't like Butch or maybe not. Maybe Butch is a wrong example. But it wasn't like somebody. It wasn't like Pee Wee Herman.
You kill Butch.
Yeah, but it was also he was extremely useful to have around.
Extremely?
And he ran the Empire for him.
Now
he's the one who counted all the numbers, the people. He's the one who did all the math.
I remember they also revealed that like he was the spy, like that Falcone had or something. So that's why Gordon and Bullock went to talk to him at that baby like club.
Yeah. He needed to go there to distress.
When you work for Oswald. And it's funny because like he's like the least likeliest person to like defect because he is so spineless.
I think he's extremely useful because he ran all the numbers, he did all the rationing, he did all the he basically kept all the records for Penguin, so Penguin only had to like listen to the report and then make a decision, even though he made shitty decisions.
I remember the point I was going to make, which is that like I think Don said this to me when like he watched the episode for the first time, which is that like this is not the first time that we've had this moment of like Penguin like, what? You know, one of my like subordinates hates me. Why? And then like that subordinate dies like, oh, no one really likes you. We all actually hate you. Because they did that with Gabe in season 3.
That's true.
And I feel like there's been other moments like that where like Penguin discovers Sakla Blue, my men actually hate me, they don't love me. But I know it was like Gabe specifically is like one that I remember.
Yeah, that's because Gabe was his number 1, and then he replaced him with Butch. Remember?
None.
I think Butch was him and Butch were already broken up by then. I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Well,
Penguin and Butch
to Jan's point about
such
like
a complicated relationship.
To Jan's point about Mr. Penn being so useful to Penguin and stuff. I mean, like, what was your? Can I ask, like, why did you bring that up?
What do you mean?
Like Penn being like, you know, he ran the numbers, he was in charge of Penguin's stuff. Like, I'm trying to remember, like, why.
Oh, because you were saying like, all of a sudden he's all like surprised and shocked that he's dead and stuff like that. Because like he needed him. I don't feel like there was like a real like emotional attachment to him. I just feel like, well, for him, he probably felt it was like an emotional attachment because the guy was like useful and did what he wanted him to do. You know what I mean? So it felt like he was helping him, so he believed that he liked him. Because he doesn't really help people unless he likes them or he needs something.
Okay.
And he's still that season 1 person deep down inside. You know, like back in season 1 where he just wanted to be respected and he just wanted a friend. He wanted Jim Gordon to be his friend, and he wanted like.
And the only person in his life that loves him for him is dead, which is his mom.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I realized on my second watching the episode that like it was like the Gertrude couple put like singers or choir people or whatever.
You said that you had
Memorial choir.
Yeah. You said that you had a point to make about them too. To remind you to make.
Yes, you.
Yeah, you texted something in the chat. You're like, remind me to make a point about, and I think it was the singers.
Well, Jay was talking about like the fact that like she thought Ben McKenzie had bags under his eyes, and I wanted to say, okay, yeah, when?
Oh yeah, when Gordon's like, or when Bullock's like, you haven't slept in days. Yeah, because you keep on parking your car in places and you won't tell me where it is. I mean.
Oh my god. Well, he does have bags under his eyes, which is good.
Yeah. You haven't slept in days. I know, I crawled into a bed last night and, you know, pushed one of the orphans out of it, but he started crying and saying, my arm. So I got out of there before I could be caught.
Gordon, come quick. The boy has broken his arm. How did this happen?
What? By whom?
God, I mean, I still don't understand how he broke his arm from falling. I have fallen out of my bed before. It is not that far, and I'm way heavier than that child.
He did it for attention because he wants Gordon to love him. What if he becomes Harley Quinn?
Nah, he's gonna become He's gonna become James Gordon.
James Gordon.
Wait, is that his name?
He'll become Barbara Gordon.
Is it James Jr.?
Yeah, James Gordon Jr.
Yeah, he'll become that guy.
Yeah, he dead.
His name is Tom Wilson. Look, it's Tom Wilson. Tom Wilson. Is this a person from the comic books or just a random kid they've named, full named in this show?
I thought it was Will Thomas.
Whatever. I don't care.
No,
it's not Martine.
He's not. I know. Like the only kid on the show that was worth a salt.
Yes, because he was so cute. He was like mute and he tried to stab people. It was great. It made me happy.
Martine was in the Haven and he was trying to get Penguin's attention, but he couldn't yell for him. So he just kept on writing Oswald, but like Oswald was too busy yelling about like Edward and stuff like that, and
I'm just gonna pretend he's far, far away.
So Martine said, "I know what'll get his attention," and he blew up the Haven. Because remember, Martine has a history of arson because he was going to do that to the kid's backpack.
It's true.
And then he saw what Riddler did to the kitchen in that one episode. So he,
Oh my god. Who are you like this?
Martine did it to get Penguin's attention. I should tell that girl on Twitter. She'll be like, "Oh!"
That'd be amazing. Like, he blows up the apartments, and then Penguin's like, "Oh my god!" And then he walks out and like has a little notepad. "Are you proud of me?" And he's like, "Oh my god, my child!
I am proud of you." "Not so fast. You're under arrest for arson." "There ain't no law that says that you can't arrest someone under the age of 11. "He's right." "No, he isn't, Jim." "Haven't you ever heard of juvenile detention?" "Shut up, Harvey. Penguins won this round, but we'll get it
It's
next
his
time."
play.
It's Martin.
Oh my god. The line was so bad. Never forget.
The penguin.
I did love that the dog turned on him too.
That's one of my favorite.
And the dog's all like, "F you, dude." Even though he gave the dog all the best food.
This is one of my favorite lines. Like, rumor has it, dog went willingly.
Rumor has it that everyone's so excited to talk about that dog.
Well, and that made Olga, like, she's like another person who's like really active in the Gotham fan community on Twitter. She was like the one that spilled the whole Nig Mobblepot thing back in season 3. Remember?
Wait, what?
Like Penguin.
I was the one that spilled that tea, dude.
No. I mean, in the show, like, remember Penguin confesses to her that he likes Nigma, and I think she told Barbara, or she either told Barbara. I don't know. She told somebody.
Yeah, she told Barbara because Barbara was on the table.
Yeah.
Being like, "I want a piece of the pie." So like, why are you even here? Everybody exists. It's like, why is Barbara on this table?
It's like, wow, Barbara has
She's like,
never...
"I deserve to be part of all of this. I deserve part of Gotham." And I'm a rich kid upstate.
And it's like, wow, Barbara has never been crazier than she's ever been. And season 4 said, "Hold my beer." And then season 5 was right behind it saying, "Yeah, we got a beer too."
She hasn't been that crazy this season.
Just mad.
You haven't gone to the episode where she becomes a sorceress.
Yes, we have. That was season 4.
Go to your home. I'm going to go to your apartment and set it on fire while you're still inside.
"Oh no, not my apartment," is what that person would say.
So right, I forgot Josh is homeless now.
Right. Do we have anything else?
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah. If I had my computer in front of me, I would read comments from Reddit again, but...
Street Demons were stupid. They were, like, really quick to just work with him, though.
Well, they were kind of up against a wall, and then they betrayed him the first chance they got.
It's true. And who else was with them?
Accessing Bertoni memory. I'm not sure.
Were the Sugar Skulls with them? They had some people with actual skulls.
I think the Sugar Skulls...
Well, they mentioned the undead. Was that supposed to be them? Like the undead gang?
I don't know. Because I thought that the Sugar Skulls were, like, murdered last episode.
Yeah, they were. They were like...
I do like how everyone's still, like, worried about the scarcity of bullets. That's still a plus point. Like the scarcity of bullets and the scarcity of food.
Well, the scarcity of bullets is gone now because they're working with Penguin. Because, like, what is it? Jim is putting himself between Babs and Penguin, so...
Well, because he was going to let Penguin go. He's like, you did the right thing here today. You can go.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was BS that, like, Penguin, like, saved it, like, helped them, like, for, like, 5 seconds at the end. Even though it was his fault for bringing them there. Everyone's like, Penguin saved us. He's our hero. But then I remembered, these are, like, very,
idiots?
very... Yeah, well, not idiots, but, like, these are, like, malnourished, like...
True.
People
They don't
who,
have
like,
food, so they can't. They're deliriously stupid.
Well, and not only food, but like there's like no hope. Like they're like cut off in this post-apocalyptic world. So like you flock to like leadership, and like it's very easy to be in like a Stockholm syndrome type relationship at that point. So I kind of rolled my eyes at that, but I was like, actually, you know what? That is somewhat believable because it is no man's land. Like, you know, like there's stuff on Walking Dead all the time where like people will follow like violent leaders and just like overlook it and pretend that they're benevolent because they have no other choice but to survive. And if it looks like Penguin is your best choice for survival, you're going to be like, homeless who?
I mean, this is not
but
nothing
I
new for
wouldn't know if I
Gotham,
would
though.
be like singing his praises. I would have just been like,
Oh,
it looks like he's
I know
more
what I want to talk
reliable.
about. The stupid choir were singing when they were like under duress and the guy's passing out in Penguin's lair, and then like when you go to like the Haven, they're singing but they like it, and it's like, oh, Gordon, Haven.
They're probably fed and have been able to take a nap.
No, the answer is that they're not real people. They're cartoon characters for us to laugh at because this is the tragedy of no man's land.
Look, I don't know what to say here because Robinson Park is like London town. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's the witch. Oh my god!
Now,
by golly, gee, Willikers, cheerio.
now sing Gotham City by R. Kelly. Gordon's all like, I want you to sing Gotham City by R. Kelly now, choir. And Bullock's like, Gordon, you might not want to sing R. Kelly. What? Why not? And like Bullock like whispers in his ear, he did what?
Yeah, basically, let's move away from that. It's like sad and depressing.
That was Penguin Our Hero. The next episode is called...
Today is Sunday, so it'll be the 24th. The next episode is called Ruin. Gordon and Penguin are forced to work together and alliances are shaken when Lucius, Nigma, and Barbara have all different ideas of the culprit behind the recent events at Haven. Meanwhile, Selina continues her quest for revenge against Jeremiah. Guest star Cameron isn't he main cast now? Guest star Cameron Monaghan. And the all-new Ruin episode of Gotham airing Thursday, January 24th on Fox. Guest cast is Cameron Monaghan as Jeremiah Valeska, Anthony Kerrigan as Victor Zaz.
Yes!
Francesca Root Dodson as Ecco, J.W. Cortez as Detective Alvarez, Alex Morph as Sykes, and Jamie Murray as Walker. Oh, yes. So I'm happy to finally be seeing her.
Uh-huh. And
Alvarez is back!
And I'm going to give a non-spoiler tease for next episode. Jan, you're going to find out who is shipped with Alvarez. All right, so until next time, this is Josh.
This is Don.
This is Jan.
And this is Jebediah. Kombucha.
His last name is Kombucha. It's not Valeska.
No, he just said kombucha for no reason.
Kombucha? Oh. It's like, he
And you've been listening.
changed his last name to Kombucha.
Yeah. Follow my Instagram account where I take black and white close-ups. And you've been listening to the Gotham Chronicle podcast.
Man, this picture kind of gives me life.
Which one?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Pain.
Damn it, Josh. Homeless Josh.
This is who I am.
Oh god, he's become a full homeless!
This is my gift. This is my curse.
Who am I? Are you sure you want to know? If someone
Not really.
told you I was a cop, if someone told you I was a cop that owned a home, someone told you wrong.
Somebody lied.
How bored are you right now? Like, this is... We open up the phone and this is what you... Open up the phone.
It's been an interesting day.
I believe so.
Like, I had to go into work at the last
God, there was
minute,
only
but
like 2 storylines in this one, wasn't there?
yeah, it's just Penguin, Gordon, and the Haven, and then Selina searching for Jeremiah. And
Yeah.
I mean, would you call the Bullock and Barbara scene the third storyline?
was
I don't
one
think
scene.
so.
That wasn't even a storyline. A scene to like push her worthless storyline forward.
Remember season 1? Yeah. We'll get into it when we start.
No
It's
kidding.
recording, right, Don?
Oh, you betcha.
Okay.
System
Don
moment.
isn't going to miss any of your homelessness.
He's all over the news.
You're gonna be getting the full. You're gonna be getting the full homeless tonight. Wait, what do you mean all? What the hell are you talking about?
Just running around
Full
cameras.
homeless experience.
Oh,
We should just honestly, we need to do one extra like thing where we just talk like that the entire all 3 of us. The entire
maybe for like April Fools, like because I definitely want to do a Vietnam Go sequel, but like for like the back half of the episode, it's just like us all talking homeless about like an episode that we made up. Like, so in this episode, Barbara Keene becomes a space god because that's what the show is now.
Jesus, just kill me.
As you wish, my
Really
son.
great character, and I'm just
Barbara, what are you doing? I have the power of the sun, Jim, and I can control the planets. This isn't like you, Barbara. Put Saturn back. Never. Jim, she's crazy. I have an idea, Harvey, but I'm gonna need to use you as bait. Me?
Wait, did I send you guys the whole thing with Pornhub and Burger King?
I saw that on Twitter.
When Burger King and Pornhub come together to make fun of Burger
You know that.
King and Pornhub.
Yeah, it was for like that. It was like the Trump thinking like. I forget who said what, but like it was like we still.
The year is 2019, and Pornhub and Burger King just joined together to make fun of the President of the United States. This is not the future I imagined.
Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go to Gordon. No.
Gordon's always on the wrong side of history in your mind, even though he's like the good guy in this show. Every time he says, "Now if you'll excuse me," someone should really stop him. Before you walk out that door, please don't do what you're about to do.
It's like the Biden memes.
Oh my god, I loved those. They were so stupid. They were so stupid. I love
Okay.
it because he was just so like, yeah, I'm gonna ruin him. It's like, okay, and you just like read what he's doing, and it's so petty. And then freaking Obama's like, don't do it, Joe. Joe, just let it, Joe. Oh God, Joe.
In this case, like Bullock would be Obama.
Yeah, basically. Which is
Okay.
really weird. To
Ooh. this is gonna be hard, but like I just realized we should do like a pit for the song parody. It should be like a parody of the song that they sing the Penguin at the beginning, but I don't know how that would work.
I'm not up for like just spontaneous singing. It's just been.
Well, it wouldn't be spontaneous. I'd have to like do that in post, but I don't know. Like,
I don't know how any of that works. 'Cause
yeah.
I remember I was like, oh, this is what he meant.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
You were saying, oh yeah, there's some music for Penguin. I was like, what?
All right. We'll get started though because I have to check on this teenager upstairs every now and again. But he's distracted by a video game, so this should be a relatively quiet recording. No Man's Land.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, hold on. My boss is texting me. Will an Uber driver pick me up from the airport at 3 a.m.? Yes, they will.
Have you tried to look at your Uber app? Because that will answer it for you.
She's asked me a series of stupid questions in the past. It's crazy. She once texted me, can you pick up 30 basketballs by tomorrow morning? And I was like, what?
Do you have a Walmart with 30 basketballs?
But why do you need that? It was like, I need them by tomorrow morning. Okay.